Let me give you the lineup right now as they start lining up. On pole, last season's champion, Joshua Steinke in that Black Diamond Motorsports car. Rusty Kruger is going to be to his outside in row 1 in the 5 car. James Tiernan and Craig Dunn make up row number 2. Brett Strickler and Kyle Moonen in row number 3. Brian Heisler in 7th and Jonathan Smith in 8th, respectively. Greg Boydell and Kevin Fry in row number 5. And rounding out your field will be the 81 of Danny Lawson and the 29 of Taylor Howell. Let me give you an example here, ladies and gentlemen. I can pull the I rating right here. The 4th place driver, highest I rating in this race for heat number 1, has 4,211 I rating. I don't know what you got on your dirt I rating, but that is a good number, and that is an idea of what you're going to see here tonight. Everybody in that top 4 is over 3,500. So these are the cream of the crop when it comes to dirt racing on iRacing right here. 10-lap heat race, the distance. The top 4 will go to the A main, 5th and 6th to B, 7th and 8th to the C, and so on and so forth. Thank you, Dustin. Dustin says in the chat that he loves the overlays. Let me tell you, I just finished this bad boy about 10 minutes ago, and it is very basic. But that's what we got for right now. Hopefully, once we get to the weekend, I have a chance to really work on it and see what we can come up with here. Going to get some lap counters up there, track state, green, yellow, that sort of thing. Just going to take some time. This whole deal came up a little late, but we're trying to get up and going and make everything as professional as possible. It will continue to improve. I promise you that. So we are green next time by 10 laps coming up in heat race number 1. Joshua Steinke and Rusty Kruger on the front row. James Tiernan and Craig Dunn, row number 2. Brett Stickler and Kyle Moonen, the 2 cars in row number 3 on the outside looking in. They've got to make some positions. Let me tell you, that 38 of Brett Strickler, he is known for making moves, ladies and gentlemen, so keep an eye on him. We're going to go green this time by Joshua Steinke, defending champions, going to lead him down. We are underway in DOB competition in Season 3. Great start for Steinke. Kruger did not get off the line like he wanted, and that's going to open the door for Tiernan on the inside, but you can see that slick line costing him some time. That gives Dunn the position into 3rd. Here comes Strickler over the cushion, trying to make waves on Tiernan. Right now, Tiernan is in the 4th spot and making sure that his ticket into the feature is booked. Tiernan now working the inside of Dunn. Unable to make anything happen. You can see everybody right now working that high line right on that cushion. Spread out, no real moves being made right now. The track will continue to change throughout the night, and these guys will have to chase it. Of course, they try to keep the fuel load as low as possible, but as the track changes, they will also have to move that wing forward or back to try and get the traction where they need it. And as that fuel burns off, sometimes that has an effect too. I know that that there are some people that really like to set their cars up. There you got to move for the race lead. Rusty Kruger with the slide job. Steinke going under him once more. Looks like he's going to regain that position going into turn 1. Let's see if Kruger can pull back up to him. Kind of surprised there. Steinke looked to be holding a pretty firm position there on the race lead, but Kruger's going to make it interesting. And Dunn is coming into this race now as well. Lap 6 of 10. We are winding down. These guys really got to start making waves. Tiernan is the man in 4th in that transfer spot. No real danger to 5th, which is Brett Strickler right now. So these guys really want to hold their position, but it is important to try and get as many positions as you possibly can as well, because That's actually one position in a heat race is worth 5 in the feature. So you can really push yourself forward by picking up a position here late. Couple laps left in this race, 3 to be exact. Steinke still holding on to the race lead. Kruger in second, Dunn third. And Tiernan now right on the back of that 57. 2 to go. Tiernan had a little bit of a slip there. You saw him. Okay, we got a yellow caution on the track. Caution flag laps do count here. Let's see if we can find the incident itself. That is the end of heat race number 1. Joshua Steinke, Rusty Kruger, James Tiernan, and Craig Dunn making their way into tonight's A main event. As I was saying, in DOB competition, caution flag laps do not count in the feature. So when they have a yellow, it is important for these guys to have enough fuel in the car, because you could have a heck of a lot of laps just running under yellow, because they want to give these guys as many racing laps as they possibly can. Of course, in regular dirt track competition, yellow flags do not count. But in iRacing, they do. So in the heat races, you will see that yellow flag laps do count. And that will play an effect on how these guys get into these races. But when it comes time to get to the feature, yellow flag laps will not count, and that's going to bring more racing action for us here. So, heat race number 2 lining up now on the pole in the 101. It is Shea Paulo. And in the 79 to the outside is Billy Rowley. Kendall Tucker in the 300 inside row number 3. And Colton Hardy in the 152 to the outside. Tyler Curtis and Chris Roberts make up row number 3. And Sean Wallenfels and John Lowe in row number 4. Chad Coate and Brandon Igo, row number 5, and James Edens and David Flick in row number 6. Let's talk about this guy right here, Mr. James Edens. Ladies and gentlemen, this guy is very, very quick. I don't care if a sprint car's got a wing on it. I don't care if it's a non-wing sprint car. I don't care if it's a midget. When it's him in a dirt car, you got to watch out. Starting 11th right here, I guarantee you're going to see this guy climbing forward. All he's got to do is make sure that he doesn't have any sort of issues here on the start or find somebody else's mess. Watch that 26 car come to the front. We are going green this time. Shea Paulo and Billy Rowley leading them down. 10 laps. Shea really didn't get off the line. I don't know if that's a questionable start or not, but we are green. We'll see what race control thinks about it. Billy Rowley is off the track. I think maybe even if he didn't have race control in his ear asking him to pull off, I think he's saying that he jumped that start. We're going to do it the gentleman's way and pull off the track and allow this race to continue. So out front, right now, is the 152 of Colton Hardy, starting 4th. The second quick qualifier of the night was able to make his way to the front through that confusion there. In second, Kendall Tucker. And behind him in third is the pole sitter, Shea Paulo, in that wicked cushion car. Right now, Chris Roberts holding on to 4th. And the 5th place car of Sean Wallenfels trying to make his way around. We're going to watch this battle for the transfer spot. This one's probably going to be the one that really heats up. You see Wallenfels making his way to the bottom of the track. Still a lot of moisture down there. Able to pull even with Roberts, looking for the side job. And Roberts now back to the bottom to take that position back. Paulo is really in danger of dropping back into this battle. Wallenfels trying to make his way into the feature, but if Paulo doesn't get going, both of these guys might have an opportunity to be in. See Roberts a little sideways there. That gives Wallenfels the opportunity that he needed to take control of that position. And now Roberts is trying to find that bottom coming out of turn 4, that moisture that Wallenfels was able to use to make time on him. Now Roberts falling into trouble with the 205 of Tyler Curtis. So his race is going from bad to worse very quickly. Out front, Colton Hardy pulling away. 3 laps left in this race. Not a whole lot of danger there from the 39 of Kendall Tucker, but Tucker is right there just in case Hardy makes that mistake. These guys are fighting for the outside front row starting position in the feature. Oh, problems for Kendall Tucker. Getting loose there in the corner. He's going to give that spot to Paolo. Let's see if he can get it back going into turn 3. Slide job is in and works so far, but Paolo's not giving him any quarter. Those cars nearly touching wheels coming out of turn 4 there. Tucker right on the cushion is going to look to make that slide job work one more time here with the white flag out. They're coming to the checkered flag. We're going to see who's going to finish second. Kendall Tucker is going to win, and I believe that is Shea Paolo going to come home in second place in that heat race. Third place will go to Kendall Tucker, and Sean Wallenfels ends up with the final transfer position in 4th. Roberts dropping all the way back to 6th. That's going to put him in the lower portion of the B main. So we're going to have to keep an eye on that. Actually, no, I think, what does that do? That puts him 7th. So that's not a terrible position to be in. So we are loading up heat race number 3 right now. Another good race for you. Ryan Pace, your pole sitter there in the 34. To the outside of him is the 16 of Reese Wilhelm. Jason Randolph and Kevin Hanley in row number 2. Peyton Grease and Aaron Schaefer make up row number 3. Looks like Jacob Fields, starting 7th, is not going to make the call to this race. So that is going to push Nicholas Cheever up a row, and Anthony Marvugolo will be to his outside. That is going to bring Justin Thomas up to the inside of Tyler Henselman in row 5. And Kevin Smith in the 084 will round out the final row of heat race number 3. Justin Thomas, a very quick driver. I'm trying to check and see if he actually got a qualifying lap in. You don't normally see him to the back of the field, so I'm guessing that maybe he did not get that car qualified. But once again, 10 laps on tap. Heat race number 3, top 4. Going to make it into tonight's A main. I appreciate that, Bubba. Feels great to be back, my friend. I like being in front of the microphone. Always have a lot of fun. And I got to tell you, when you get to call a racing league like the DOB, it's just a pleasure because these guys are at their peak. And it's just so much fun to watch the best of the best doing what they're doing. Makes my job pretty easy. And we're about to start the excitement in heat race number 3 right now. Green flag is out. Ryan Pace with a good jump there. You see a couple of cars on the inside. That's Peyton Grease. Going to lose a position there. Kevin Hanley was able to make his way into the 3rd spot. You see the white car. That is Aaron Schaefer looking to the inside there of the 047. That is Jason Randolph who was making moves there. He is right now in the transfer spot to the bottom of the track. Goes the 47 of Randolph. Right now, Ryan Pace out front. Reese Wilhelm, however, right there with the ability to reach Pace. Get a little bit of a cockpit view just to see what Reese is trying to do to catch that car. You can see the slider line being used by the 34 of Ryan Pace. He's allowing that car to shorten the track into the corner and slide up the track while trying not to make that rear end step out more than it absolutely has to. You can really spin the tires and lose a lot of time there if you don't get that slider line correct. But on a track like this, where the middle of the corner has a lot of moisture, That, you know, you want to run as low of a line as possibly that you can, but when you lose that moisture, you got to go up to the top. So if you can keep that car straight through the dry, all of a sudden you're taking a smaller revolution around the racetrack while, ooh, almost contact there between Kevin Hanley and Reese Wilhelm. These guys battling it out. Like we said, every position counts. One position right here, if he can get around Reese Wilhelm, Kevin Hanley will ensure that he has 5 less cars he has to pass to get to the front in tonight's feature. So that is how huge it is. This is the kind of thing that we're talking about. And this is why these drivers will continue to be aggressive all night long. And we talked about this guy, yellow flag out on the course. Let's see if we can find out what that was right there. Here's your issue. Anthony Marvugo coming out of turn 4, big time contact and being hit as well. Not sure what the red car was that made that contact, but definite problems there. He's going to be done for the heat race. Going to shove him quite far back in the D main, and we're going to see the white flag this time by. So winner of heat race number 3 will be Ryan Pace. Reese Wilhelm second, Kevin Hanley third, Jason Randolph fourth. And looks like Justin Thomas, his charge from the rear of the pack, will land him a 5th place finish, which will start him third in tonight's B main. So that's a good one right there. You know, they're only going to take 4 out of that B main. So if you're going to find yourself in the B main, you'd really like to start in that top 4, that's for sure. Aaron Schaefer going to make his way into the B main. Peyton Grease in 7th will end up in the C. Probably pretty frustrating for him. I think he lost a couple of spots there, was hoping to get in. But there you have it, number 34, Ryan Pace, going to be the one crossing the start-finish line first and earning the 3rd place starting spot in tonight's A main. I always find it funny because, of course, this is sim racing. So as soon as the race is over, nothing counts anymore, and everybody seems to get a little wild. Maybe they're frustrated and they slam into the wall. It's just, you know, when we're calling these races, and I also have the privilege of getting to call races at my local track. You know, everybody wants to call these things and make it as professional as you possibly can, but it's still iRacing. It's a simulation. It's, you know, people say, "Oh, it's not a video game." That's fine, not a video game, but okay, this is we still get a few elements on here that you just won't see at your local dirt track, and it's always fun to have a little fun with it. Dustin's saying that the microphone audio is a little quiet. I can fix that, brother. What do you think about that right there? Bring it up a couple decibels. We'll see how you guys like that. Gonna have a few bugs to work out better. Would you like a little more? So here we go. We're rolling. Heat race number 4. On the pole, Swindell Speed Lab driver. That is Adam Elby. In 2nd, the 00 of Jeff Flaro. Kevin Click in the 25, member of Team SETI. Wicked Relief Gum, the sponsor on that car. Inside row number 2. And to the outside, the 19 of Hayden Caldwell. Ernie Williams Jr. inside row number 5, driving for Black Diamond Racing. And Christopher Miller in the 15 to the outside. Dakota Kuhn in the 95 will start 7th, with Jamie Wallace in the 100 starting 8th. And final row here tonight, row number 5, Kyle Sargent and Jordan Hack in the 39. Always like a little more, Beard, for sure. So here we go. Heat race number 4, 10 laps the distance. Top 4 to the A main. We're going to see what Ernie Williams Jr. has. He is excellent here at Knoxville, so watch that 91 starting in 5th, inside row number 3. We're going green this time by. Adam Elby has him, and we are off. Really rough start for Floro, and we've got a crash behind them. Watching here. No yellow as of yet, so I'm going to hold off on that instant replay. We're going to stay green. We talked about differences between real racing and sim racing. If you have a crash and you're able to gather it up, or you can hit the escape button and put yourself in the pits, they will not call a yellow for you. So the track is clean and we are green. We're going to keep at it here. Adam Elby is the man who made his way to the front. Ernie Williams from 5th, running 2nd right now, and the battle is between Jeff Floro and Kevin Click here for 3rd place. That is Hayden Cardwell there trying to work his way into that. He is the odd man out right now, looking for a transfer spot. Kevin Click going to try that slide job, going to have to pull it close. Nice gentlemanly racing there by Click, trying to make sure that he doesn't move that 00. He is still in a transfer spot. You don't want to crash yourself, but you can see Floro's having a little trouble off of turn 4. That's the 2nd time he's found the wall off of turn 4. Ernie Williams now, we got a race for the lead. He's working the high side. Elby working that slider line. And these guys are trying to find out who is going to start in the outside of the 2nd row for the A main feature. We are watching Elby, and is that Floro in the wall? Yes, it is. Problems for Floro once again. Not sure if that car was hurt, but he found the wall there in turn 2 and is now out of that transfer spot. And that's just something that makes you sick right there. If a guy is out there trying his hardest, all of a sudden he's in a transfer spot, but you've got these fast drivers on your tail. You've got to keep moving forward, because as soon as you're not attacking the guys in front of you, you're having to defend the guys behind. And as you can see, that bit Jeff Floro there, who went from a transfer spot all the way back to 7th place now. We are watching the 4th place car right now. That is Dakota Kuhn. He is defending his position to Hayden Cardwell and trying to find a way around Kevin Click. He needs that other position right there as a buffer to ensure that he's going to be in that A main. We are coming up on the white flag lap right now. Adam Elby in the lead. And the race is for the transfer spot right now. Side by side, those two cars. Hayden Cardwell is the man up front right now, but you can see slide job coming in. We're going to go side by side to the finish line. Who's going to take it? Looked like the 95 to me, Dakota Kuhn. 4th place will transfer on to the A main, and Hayden Cardwell is going to have to find his way through the B main. You can see there already we've got some wild racing. A drag race for the final transfer spot there in heat race number 4. And this one right here is going to be the last heat race of the night. Heat race number 5 coming up very shortly. Peyton in the chat saying he's going to stop beating himself. If he can stop beating himself, he might finish one of these. So, yeah, that's true, Peyton. You know, I give Peyton a hard time because sometimes he likes to he's one of those guys. I don't want to say he's a bottom feeder, but he likes to run that bottom line. That's where he's most comfortable. And sometimes he can find himself in the inside retaining wall. So he always catches a little crap from me when he does that. So here we go. Going to start rolling here in heat race number 5. On the pole, Black Diamond Motorsports driver in the 36. It is Nathan Davis. And to the outside is the 75 of Dylan Workman. Jason Nygaard inside of row number 2 in the 22. And to the outside, it is Dylan Fox. John Bragman is actually in the pits for this one, so that is going to push Matthew Williams up a row, and to the outside of him will be Scotty Edwards. Tim Ryan in the 198, one of the toughest drivers out there. You'll see this guy making some passes here tonight. And behind him will be Donald Swanson. Dennis Conley and John Lopresto will round out your field here. Always confuses me once you throw those guys out. And if they're in the pits, then all of a sudden all the rows change, you know. But the guy that loves that is the guy that gets to move up a row. So it's definitely, because anytime you got somebody in the inside lane, if they don't start the race, then the next guy in the inside lane moves up. You don't change lanes. Here we go. 10 laps the distance. This is the last chance for these guys. Heat race number 5. We're not going to transfer anymore until we get to the alphabet soup. So let's see what happens. Nathan Davis with a good jump. Workman able to get to the top of the track. He's going to hold off Nygaard there for third. Dylan Fox trying to find a way around him. Not ready to make that slider happen yet, but he is right there on the tail tank. Ooh, a little bit of contact there with Nygaard. Able to gather it up, but behind them, as you saw, I'm going to go back a little bit and see what we find. Comley had lots of issues there on that lap, and then 2 cars coming together behind him. They're going to bring out the caution flag. Makes my job hard too, because you don't actually have to run the same number on the wing that you actually are in as in the sim. So I look and I was like, oh yeah, it's a 21 car. There's not a single 21 car in this race. So being able to pick them out on the camera is just complicated. Braden asking if David Heileman is on the sidelines. I think he is for this race. I'll be surprised if we don't see him in race number 2. Dustin Griffiths saying he's coming up in race number 2. Full-time booth. We gotta get the Hulk up here. We'll get Heileman up here, see what he can turn out. I can tell you, if he can work cameras for me, that'd be great, because I'm terrible. This is the first time I've actually had the opportunity to work with cameras here on iRacing. So you gotta bear with me, guys. I'm gonna learn here, all right? But I'll tell you this: if you want to make fun of me, I won't hold it against you. You might get a full-time ban, but you know. So Nathan Davis, Dylan Workman, Jason Nygaard, and Dylan Fox, your top 4. The man looking to find his way in 5th is Matthew Williams in the 13. We're going to keep an eye on him. Tim Ryan still hanging out in 7th. Like we said, only the top 4 get to advance. Braden wants to booth on midgets. I actually think Billy has dibs on that one. Billy Raleigh is on record as saying that he will not be running the midgets. So we're going to see how that works out there. We're going to go green this time by 5 laps left in this race. Nathan Davis going to bring him down. Good start for Davis. Not a terrible start for Workman, however, though. Let me tell you something. That 75... That's an underrated driver right there. He's always doing well. Dylan Fox in the fence. That's tough for him, because that's going to cost him that transfer spot. Fox, maybe better known for his late model racing. Definitely a quick sprint car driver. Not going to be happy with the fact that he gave away a transfer spot in the A main. Let's see if he can earn it back. 3 wide in front of him. That's Tim Ryan on the outside. Scotty Edwards was the meat in that sandwich. Now Ryan's going to come to the bottom of the track, try to pass both of these guys for the transfer spot. Tim Ryan into 4th, but here comes Williams back on the inside. Dylan Fox on the high side of the track trying to find his way back forward. That 13 car is going to make that slide job stick, but Tim Ryan once again to the bottom, trying that slider line. 13 with the over-under. Fantastic racing here in heat race number 5, DOB competition. I think Williams done what he needed to do right there. Ryan's going to try to make the bottom work. Wow, actually there's quite a bit of moisture still down there. 2 laps to go. Top 3 all nose to tail, but we're not taking our eyes off of this one right here. 3-car battle for 4th. Williams, he's got it. Now, problems for Ryan. We're going to switch off to Dylan Fox here. He's working the high side. We're going to see if he can come up with something. Nope. That is it. Checkered flag is out. Williams is going to be your man transferring in that final transfer spot. And unfortunately, Fox, who found his way into the fence and out of a transfer spot, will be making his way to the B main. David Heileman in the chat, double this man's salary. Can I get some hearts on that one? I'm not pandering, but come on. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to the D main, try to make our way through the soup here. Brett Wheeler calling for triple A. You're not too shabby yourself, my friend. Don't be giving me that stuff. I've heard Brett Wheeler calls. So the D main, 10 laps the distance. Starting on the pole in the 15, it is Christopher Miller. John Bragman to his outside in the 17J. Danny Lawson and Chad Cope make up row number 2 in the 81 and the 11 respectively. Kevin Smith and Jamie Wallace, row number 3. Scotty Edwards in the 52 and Kevin Fry make up row number 4. Row number 5 will be Brandon Igo. And we've got quite a few drivers not making the call for the D main, so that is going to put Billy Rowley to the outside of him in row number 5. And Greg Boydell will round out your field. Now remember, this car right here, Billy Rowley, was the one who had issues on the start. We weren't sure if the leader didn't go or if he jumped, but he lifted and came into the pits, put himself in the D main. We're going to have to see what he's got here. That is a fast car, Team SETI driver. So from the tail, we're going to have to keep an eye on Billy. That's not easy, though. I don't care how fast your car is. Starting 10th, you've got to get to 4th. Only 10 laps to do it. Yeah, it's the D main, but these are still fast drivers out here. It's not going to be easy. We're going to go green this time by. Top 4 are going to advance to the C main. Christopher Miller, John Bragman leading them down. Miller with a great jump. And Bragman, he missed it, but that was just a great jump from the 15 of Miller. Looking back there, we've got some contact there in the center of the field. That is the 100 car of Jamie Wallace. He's able to get that thing straightened out. Not sure how many people that affected. Let's go to the transfer battle right now. That is the 11 of Chad Coate on the outside. Now working to the inside of the 6. That is Scotty Edwards. See Billy Rowley trying to make some waves through there. I've got to imagine that contact there in the center of the field cost him some time, but he's starting to pick off some cars. Right now, Chad Coate in the 11 is in the transfer spot. Christopher Miller, Bragman, Lawson in the 56. Oh, contact there! Let's see if I can find that 6 car. He's gone, though. One of these days, I'll learn what I'm doing, guys, I promise. I do believe we are still green, however. It looks like we got some afters as well. Let's see if we can reset up here. You know, I like to see those crashes and the contact, but if we're staying green, I want to stay with the racing action. And the racing action is right here. In third is Chad Coate. Billy Rowley making the slide job. He's going to take that position away. Remember, Rowley started 10th in this race. He is now running third and making his way forward. Out front, Christopher Miller still leading this race in the 15, but John Bragman has started to reel him in. Now, top 4 is most important. That's going to earn you the transfer into the C main. But, like we said, every car that you pass now is a car that you don't have to pass in the C. So, it's important for him to keep that number 1 position to ensure that he doesn't have to worry about John Bragman in the main. But then again, you're at the rear of the field. Ooh, a little bit of a slip there. He's going to work to the bottom of the track, see if he can pick up some moisture. Not exactly what he aimed to do, that's for sure. But like we said, these guys are going to start in the back of the field, so it's hard to say what lane you want to be in. White flag is out, one more lap to go for Christopher Miller. Doing quite well right now. Bragman's going to take a wild swing at it. Billy Rowley is starting to make waves on these guys. The race for fourth heating up, but it looks like the 56 of Kevin Fry is going to hold on to that, and he will move on in tonight's events. What is wrong with me? We still got one lap here. We are still working. I tell him that Billy's done, and he's racing for the lead coming down the front stretch. Not going to make it happen. Christopher Miller going to take the victory. That's going to be Billy Rowley in second, John Bragman in third, and Kevin Fry in fourth. Thank you, Steven. I appreciate it. As we said, we're going kind of low buck and basic right now. Because we didn't have a whole lot of time to get set up. You know, my lovely banner there, which I must say, Billy Rowley was the one that made the banner, and I was working on getting everything set up. But as you can see, we don't have any lap counters on the board. We don't have the green or yellow flag up there to tell what's going on. So we're gonna get that. But right now, as you can see, it's a work in progress, and I'm making it look like a work in progress too, trying to cut that race short by a lap as well. So, C-Main, starting lineup. Peyton Grease in the 292, inside row number 1, and to the outside, the 00 of Jeff Flaro. Remember, the 00 was very fast in his heat race, but ended up finding the wall a couple of times. I gotta imagine that thing was bent up, which cost him that transfer spot. He kept smacking the wall and ended up finding himself in the C-Main. Row number 2 in the 71, it is John Lepresto and the 29 of Taylor Howell. Row number 3, John Lowe and Tyler Henselman in the 20 and 21 respectively. Jordan Hack in the 39 and David Swanson in the 44 make up row number 4. Brian Heisler and David Flick, row number 5. Row number 6, Nicholas Cheever and Christopher Miller. And row number 7, Billy Rowley and John Bragman, and the 56 of Kevin Fry, rounding out your field. We said it last time. He started 10th in the D main. Billy Rowley in the 79 is going to try to find his way forward here in the C. Christopher Miller, the winner of the D main, going to have to keep an eye on him, see how quickly these guys can get it through the field. Peyton Grease doesn't care about that. He's on the pole, and he's just trying to find a way into the B main to keep his chances in tonight's event alive. But 12 laps the distance. We are taking 4 cars to the B main, ladies and gentlemen. C main action here in the DOB 360 Sprint Car Series. We're going green this time by Peyton Grease in the 292. Jeff Flaro in the 00, leading them down. Good jump there for Grease. The inside line didn't exactly go with him, however. A couple of guys getting a little crossed up there. Let's see if we can pick up the 00 of Flaro, who's trying to make his way to the top of the track. A little bit out of sorts there. Lost some time. That's going to bring him back to the 29 of Taylor Howell, who is under fire from the 20 of John Lowe. Lowe to the inside. Whoa, problems for the 71. That's Lepresto. He's able to gather that up, but that's going to cost him some positions all the way back to 7th. And look at Billy Rowley coming behind him with a big slider. He's up to 8th. From 13th. Keep an eye on that 79 car. Let's get back out front where Flaro is in second and trying to make his way around the high side on Peyton Grease. We talked about Grease. He likes that bottom. I ain't going to call him the catfish. They call him the shark. Right now, he's doing what sharks do out front, biting people in the rear. So we're going to see if he can hold on to it. Likes that bottom, but if that bottom starts to go away, that's going to open the door for Flaro. Taylor Howell right now in 4th place, trying to work his way around John Lowe. Tyler Henselman, the odd man out. He's inserting himself into this battle. And here comes Billy Rowley, ladies and gentlemen. That 79 car up to 7th, and he's working his way into this battle. Oh, big problems for Peyton Grease. What in the world happened there? He got loose going in the corner. Looked like Floro had no idea he was going to be that slow. Plowed right into the rear of the 292. And that, yeah. And there, and just to add insult to injury, he's going to fly through the air after the crash. Really, really tough break for Peyton Grease, who was leading that race. You could see him get loose going into turn 3. That cost him time, which pushed Floro right up to his rear bumper. And Floro really know where to go. It's tough. I mean, I'm sure Peyton's like, come on, man. But, I mean, that's hard to do anything with right there. All of a sudden, that guy's going 20, 30 miles an hour slower than he was, and you did not expect it. And Floro was working that slider line anyway, so it's just the guys met in the middle, racing deal. So, still a fair amount of laps left. We were getting really excited about that 79 of Billy Rowley coming up into this battle. Right now, sitting 6th. Wow, look at that right there. Actually, you see problem. That 29 of Taylor Howell missing his front wing, and is that the engine cowling gone as well? That car is going to be severely limited on the start. So that's going to give opportunities to the 21 of Hinselman, the 71 of Lepresto, and the 79 of Billy Rowley. We're going to have to keep an eye on Hal here, because there's some guys that can make that no front wing thing work, but it's very, very tough, and most of the time it hurts you pretty bad. That's a big enough hit there that it's possible he could have engine damage as well. We're going green this time by 4 laps once we hit the stripe. Floro did not get a great start. One guy who did get a great start is Hinselman, but Howell up to the top, going to try to cut him off. Lepresto there on the bottom of the track. Rowley working that slider line low, backing Hinselman up there. See this battle developing. Billy Rowley from the back of the D, trying to make his way into the B main here. He's got to get in the top 4, which means he's got to get around Hinselman. Hinselman on the bottom. Rowley working the slider line. Howell still holding on to a transfer spot. Here comes Rowley. Right now, those 2 cars side by side for the final transfer spot. 2 laps left in this race. This thing is coming right down to it. 4 of these drivers are going to go on to the B main. Nobody wants their night to end right now. Rowley has got control of that position now in 4th. Hinselman's got to figure something out to try and make a move. Rowley now with Howell and that injured race car in front of him. It could cost him here, but let's keep an eye on it. Jeff Floro is going to win this race. Looks like Lowe is in 2nd. Rowley and Hinselman going to get a drag race down to the stripe. I think that belongs to the 79 of Billy Rowley, who has made his way from the back of the D main and into the B. That's an impressive run right there. 10th place in the D main. Put him 13th in the C. And now going to start 16th in the B. But this is where it gets more complicated. We're going to tack on a couple of laps here. So 14 laps the distance in this B main. Everybody's getting loaded up right now. I said this is where it gets tougher. Let me tell you why. On the pole, the 38 of Brett Strickler. In 2nd, the 26th of James Edens. Justin Thomas in the 9 and Hayden Cardwell make up row number 2. Dylan Fox and Kyle Noonan in row number 3. Chris Roberts and Aaron Schaefer, row number 4. Kyle Sargent and Tim Ryan, row number 5. Jonathan Smith and Tyler Curtis, row 6. Jeff Floro and John Lowe, row 7. And rounding out your field in the 29 is Taylor Howell, who has a new front wing, and Billy Rowley in the 79. Let's take bets, ladies and gentlemen. Take your bets right here. How many cars does Billy Rowley get right here? You can see issues for Strickler. I think he's going to park it. That car is in and out, having some connection issues. One of those things that you don't see in real racing, but is ever prevalent in sim racing, is going to bite Brett Strickler. That's heartbreaking, man. Starting on the pole of the B main and going to drop out of this race because of connection issues. That's going to move Justin Thomas up to the pole position. Strickler's still in this. He's trying to get to the rear of the field. Probably had an end-of-line penalty, but it's going to be really tough for him to do anything now. Thomas and Eden's going to lead him down. Here we go. Green flag. 14 laps the distance. Going to watch Hayden Cardwell here through turn number 1. Looks like Justin Thomas and Dylan Fox racing for the lead, but they are 3 wide for 4th place. Cardwell, Roberts, trying to fight their way into this thing. Tim Ryan making some moves there coming into this picture. Oh, upside down goes Ryan. He's got that thing gathered up. The 20 of Lowe in that. Strickler getting some of that as well. Lowe and Strickler might have had their own little crash there, but it was Tim Ryan who was upside down in a big way. Hayden Cardwell on the inside berm trying to find the bottom of the track there, and it worked for him. Move him into 4th place and into the transfer spot. Trying to see here, we got Kyle Noonan on the outside of the track in 5th spot right now. 6th place Kyle Sargent working the inside with Roberts right on his tail. Once again, you can see Billy Rowley working his way into that picture. He is up to 9th place. We won't watch him just yet, but we're going to keep an eye on that 79 see if he continues to move forward. Pretty good race for the lead right now. Justin Thomas and Dylan Fox battling it out for that top spot. James Eden's just waiting for those guys to make a mistake. Thomas on the cushion, Fox on the bottom. And this is something you're going to see in the A main as well. There's going to be guys that really work that top side and guys that really work the bottom. But neither are easy. I tell you, when you get to the feature of these DOB races in Knoxville, if you're running the bottom, you are off the gas a lot. And if you're on the top, that cushion is rough. That camera, I don't care if you're running triples or you're running VR, that camera wants to bounce around because your car is basically, it's bottoming out on the cushion and that thing starts hopping. But then again, maybe that's just my talent level and why I'm in the booth. So we are going to check in with Billy Rowley here, sitting 8th place right now, trying to make his way around Chris Roberts, and we are caution on the track. Let's see if we can get an instant replay here. A little bit of contact between Tim Ryan and Strickler, but it is not those boys involved in that crash. Looks like Tyler Curtis was the main man, just finding his way into the wall and upside down. He was able to get off the track there. And we will continue on. Not a whole lot of laps left, however. I do believe this will be one till green. So let's reset the 9 of Justin Thomas. Right now out front, Dylan Fox in the 299 running 2nd. James Eden's in the 26th third. And the man in the transfer spot, the final transfer spot, Hayden Cardwell in the 19. He's going to have to battle off Kyle Noonan and Kyle Sargent. Chris Roberts and Billy Rowley also right there. I'm going to keep an eye on that transfer spot here on this restart. Now we're going to get the one till green. Peyton, if you rewatch the broadcast, brother, you'll see that I called that out. I'm sure you were upset. That's just a tough deal there, man. That's not the way you want 2 drivers to meet in a corner, that's for sure. So we're going to go green this time. We're going to have 3 laps left. Justin Thomas going to lead them down. Dylan Fox, James Edens, Hayden Cardwell in the transfer positions, looking to find their way into the A main. Only a couple of laps left to do it. Race out front, stretching out, but we're going to watch that transfer battle. Moonen on the outside in 6th. They've got to find their way up to Hayden Cardwell. Not happening right now. Eden's now heading up for 2nd place. Billy Rowley trying to find his way up into this battle. Chris Roberts now to the inside of Moonen. All these guys are trying as hard as they possibly can, but it is the man in the 01925 is the number on your screens. He's the one in the final transfer spot. White flag is out. We got a race for the lead. James Edens on the inside, trying to make his way around Justin Thomas. Dylan Fox right on his bumper. Edens on the bottom, off of turn number 4. He's going to win. Give the B main to James Edens, who found the bottom of the track to his liking. Hayden Cardwell picks up the final transfer. Give a little shout out to that 79 Billy Rowley. Made it all the way from the rear of the D main and finished 8th in the B main. And that's something we're going to have to watch, see how that car does in race number 2 here tonight. As we know that he had a little bit of an issue there on his start and pulled into the pits. So if he actually gets a chance in a heat race, maybe we'll see him in the race number 2. Well, we're not worried about race number 2 right now, ladies and gentlemen. We are getting ready for race number 1, the A main in DOB 360 sprint car competition, coming up shortly. We've got the warm-up session right now, 1 minute left, and we are going to go green for 35 laps. Colton Hardy, fastest on the track right now. Ernie Williams Jr., we talked about him being great at Knoxville, and this is his kind of track right now. Dry on the bottom, still a little bit of a cushion. He is now top of the board in warm-up. Hope everybody's having a good time out there, checking out the DOB. We are live on twitch.tv/elbowsuptv, as well as the DOB Facebook page. I'm trying to keep an eye on both chats. We are going to try to be interactive with everybody out there. Like I said, still a work in progress. We've got some stuff we want to do to the graphics. We've got some learning to do with the replays and the cameras as well. Good buddy Ross Weiss is going to be making us some transitions, make this thing look real professional. If I can learn how to use them, we'll be all right, I think. So that is it for the warm-up. We are getting ready to go green here for 35 laps. Race number 1, DOB 360 Sprint Car Series. Remember, caution flag laps are not going to count in this race. These drivers have to take that into account. You got to make sure you got enough fuel on board. This track, although still with a little bit of moisture in it, not nearly what we had in the early stages of this event. So what you're going to see is guys really struggling to find traction. They'll be pulling that wing back to try and make their way through the slick. Some guys on the bottom, some guys on the top, and eventually that top will get very dangerous. So you can make waves on that top and get quite a few passes. But once that thing gets so rough, then you're putting yourself in danger as well. Here we go. Rolling off the line on the pole in the number 80, the defending champion in the DOB 360 Sprint Car Series, Black Diamond driver Joshua Steinke On the pole to his outside in the 152, it is Colton Hardy. Ryan Pace and Adam Elby make up row number 2. Nathan Davis, Rusty Kruger. Row number 3, Shea Paulo and Reese Wilhelm. Row number 4, Ernie Williams Jr., fastest in warm-up. Keep an eye on that 91 car. Dylan Workman to his outside in row number 5. Craig Dunn and Tyndall Tucker in row number 6. Kevin Hanley, Kevin Klick. Row 7, Jason Nygaard, James Tiernan. Row 8, Sean Wallenfels, Jason Randolph. Row number 9. And we've actually got a few guys not keyed up here, which is kind of surprising. I don't know if we're having connection issues with iRacing servers or what. There they are. They're starting to show up now. Justin Thomas, James Eden's there. Rounding out your field, Matthew Williams is in that battle as well. But we're going to go back to the start. The front of this field getting ready to go green. 35 laps at DOB competition. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Steinke bringing them down. We are green. Great start for Steinke. Problems for Workman. Contact in the back. That's Ernie Williams, Sean Wallenfels, Workman in there. James Tiernan missing a front wing. Caution flag is out. Carnage on lap 1. See if we can rewind this baby back. We're going to stick with Dylan Workman here in the middle of the field. Not a great start for the 91 of Williams. He makes contact with Workman. And then, as the old proverb says, all hell breaks loose. Workman, a big loser in that. James Tiernan missing his front wing. That's going to cost him. Ernie Williams in the 91 also suffering highly there. Williams all the way back to 19th. Workman back to 17th. So that's just exactly not what they wanted to see on lap 1, obviously. You know, you might be right, Braden, because I had this bad boy set up for the VR, so I think I had her turned down to 20. I'm going to have to take a look at that before we get into race number 2, make sure I got 24 showing. We did see the issues with Strickler, though, in the B main, so, you know, that's kind of weird. Yeah, we did, Tuna Can. We saw you have a little issue there in the heat, but then you definitely gave us all something to watch there through the D, C, and B, so that was fun. So, we said caution flag laps do not count, but the first lap does indeed count. The lap you are on does count, so we have 1 lap in the books. We are restarting on lap 5 here. And we're going to see what happens from here. We need a good restart, single file. Everybody looks nice. Steinke out to the early lead. We got side-by-side action. That's Rusty Kruger and Nathan Davis fighting it out for the 5th and 6th spots, respectively. Kruger on the bottom. Behind him, Reese Wilhelm trying to find his way forward. Steinke up on the high side, Hardy on the inside. Oh, there goes Kruger around. Rusty Kruger upside down, and that is going to be the end of his night. The 5-car, Rusty Kruger, running in the top 5 there with problems. We're going to watch here. He comes off of turn 4, still in that battle with Nathan Davis. Looks like he's going to get a little bit of contact there. That's Reese Wilhelm. I think that's another one of those things where we saw the issue with Peyton Grease in, what was that, the C main, where he said he got on the brakes a little bit and that slowed the car up and the car behind him got into him. Whereas in this case, I think Kruger, I think he got a little bit out of sorts, and all of a sudden, Reese Wilhelm was the guy that was on the charge and had nowhere to go. Reese Wilhelm did receive an end-of-line penalty there. So he will be making his way to the rear of the field. Kendall Tucker out of this race. Sean Wallenfels and Dylan Fox 1 lap down. Not sure if they went in to get a front wing or if maybe they're out and they're only showing 1 lap down right now. So we'll have to keep an eye on that. But second caution of the night. We are going to restart here on lap number 10. Joshua Steinke in the lead. Colton Hardy in second. Ryan Pace third. We are going green once more. Let's see what Steinke can do on the restart. Using that moisture at the bottom of the track. You see Ernie Williams, the lone guy on the high side, way back, trying to make those positions back up. Steinke on the high side, working it. Adam Elby now trying to find a way around Ryan Pace. He's going to go to the top side with Nathan Davis. That is the 57 of Craig Dunn on the inside trying to play it patiently. Working his way around the bottom of the track. Right now it's got him around Davis. Justin Thomas on the high side. See if we can find him there. Good battle there. There's James Tiernan without a front wing. Working the inside of the track. 10th place right now. Thomas on the high side. You can see Ernie Williams making his way back forward. Started this race 9th. Had contact early on. Oh, problems for Nathan Davis. Upside down. That car is back on all 4 wheels. But the caution flag has waved. See if we can pick up a replay here. Just over the cushion and into the fence. Puts Davis upside down. Wow, Thomas very lucky there. Edens fairly lucky as well. Could have gone really bad there for those 3 drivers. I think Nathan Davis is going to be upset with himself, but he is still in this race. If you're going to crash, taking no damage is not a bad idea. So, getting the message from race control. White flag lap will now be lap 44. We are working lap 14 right now. Still plenty of racing action to come. The track clearly giving these guys fits right now. We talked about the top side of the racetrack. It's fast. It can gain you positions. You've got to make sure your car is really set up well for it. You got to be up on the wheel because it gets dangerous. And you can see it bit Nathan Davis right there. Davis is no slouch. So that's just one of the things that happens when you're up there trying to make positions in the DOB. We're going to go green on lap 16. So we've got 28 laps left in this race. Here we come to the line. Joshua Steinke leading him down once more. Another good start from Steinke. He's going to go to the top side of the track. Colton Hardy to the inside. Lone man on the high side there behind Craig Dunn is Jason Nygaard. But Dunn is going to slide up the track in front of him. Adam Elby's trying that groove as well. See Hanley and Click there. Yellow flag out once more. Trying to find out what happened there. We're going to look at Sean Wallenfels here. He's in the fence there, but able to continue blinking out of existence. There was the car Not sure what that white car was there, but he found his way to the infield upside down. There will be no more of that driver in this race, we can assure you. Lap 47 will now be your white flag lap. Should be 27 left in this race. Slow start here. We're going to get things fired up shortly. We're having fun out here. DOB 360 Sprint Car Series. Live on twitch.tv/elbowsuptv, as well as the DOB Facebook page. Lots of people out there in the chat. We'd like to hear from you. Go ahead and chime in whenever you get the chance. You want to talk about what's going on out here on the track, we're going to talk with you. This is an interactive stream. We are going to go back green on lap 20 here. 27 laps left in this race. Josh Steinke leading him down once more. Look at him fan out there in the middle of the pack. Kevin Click right in the middle of that battle. Justin Thomas to the inside of James Tiernan, and Tiernan in the wall. That is Hayden Cardwell as well, upside down. Let's get an instant replay here going down into turn number 1. Thomas trying to fit it in there. Tiernan trying to get to the bottom. I think that's another one. I think Tiernan's going to be pretty upset there. But I don't know. That's one of those deals. Everybody going for the same space there. So unfortunate turn of events there for James Tiernan. Looks like Justin Thomas didn't hurt him too bad, which is, it's going to make James even more upset. Thomas there running in 9th. Ernie Williams trying to make his way back to the front of this field after his lap 1 debacle. He is one spot behind where he started. Lap 50 will now be the white flag lap. 26 laps remaining in this race. Want to remind everybody, take a look at them sponsors in the lower left-hand corner of the broadcast. These are the people bringing these broadcasts to you. We're going to have 4 of the DOB leagues here on Elbows Up TV. Each of those sponsors down there in the corner, what's making these broadcasts happen, especially Wicked Cushion with these 360 and 410 races that we get to enjoy right here. Steinke on the gas. We are restarted here. Lap 24. Colton Hardy holding the inside. Steinke still. He's got confidence in that outside line. Gonna watch Craig Dunn here on the inside. He's got Nygaard and Elby on the outside. Justin Thomas, Kevin Click, Ernie Williams battling it out. 3 wide there. These guys trying to get everything they can get. They're 3 wide ahead of them as well. Craig Dunn trying to make his way forward. Nygaard doing pretty well there on the high side. 34 car getting a little wild. Nygaard right into the back of him. As soon as I talk good about him, all of a sudden, things go terribly wrong, and he's going to make contact with Justin Thomas. That's going to get him sideways, and now he's under fire from Williams and Click. So Nygaard, all it took, wow, to the outside goes Williams, and now Dylan Fox on his back bumper as well. Dylan Workman working his way back up front. Look at that. That's Williams and Workman there. Are two of the gentlemen that had that crash early on in this race, and they are working their way back up through the field quite well. Caution flag out on the speedway. Trying to figure out who could possibly be to blame for that caution. Not seeing a clear-cut winner. I appreciate that, Jeff. I'm trying to learn here. Not great with the cameras, trying to keep everything in order. This is the fun portion of it, though, man. I tell you, it's a privilege to get to call the races for the DOB. These guys, I said pro level earlier, and that, it just doesn't do it justice. These are the best winged sprint car drivers on the iRacing simulation. All right, now Mr. Bergeron's not here. Let's give him his due. We got to say the champ isn't here. We saw Mr. Heileman lurking in the chat there. He's going to be probably firing his computer up for race number 2, so we're going to get to see him. But I can tell you, every one of these drivers that are out here in this A main, they earned it. Like I said at the beginning of the broadcast, 44% of the people who tried to make a DOB A main feature last season did not make it. Nearly half of the entries, 207 people tried, and only 116 actually got to run a single A main lap in all of Season 2. We are at lap 30 right now. Race control saying lap 50 is going to be our white flag. That means we got 20 to go. We are green flag once again. Look at Elby there on the inside of Hardy. He's going to see if he can make that maneuver. Hardy's going to have to go to the top side to try and save that. When will that top side give way here? Hardy has been able to hold that position on the outside, but now giving way one to Mr. Dunn, who is working his way forward. Look at the top, there goes Hardy. Ladies and gentlemen, man, that car is crooked. It's done. I am no soothsayer. I'm not a guy that really gets into egos and tell you, yeah, I'm the smartest guy in the business. But we talked about the top side of the track getting dangerous late in the race. And here's a guy who ran second for the early portion of this race on the bottom. And as soon as he goes to the top, boom, it bites him. It can give you great rewards, and it can really take them away from you as well. Very, very tough break for Colton Hardy. He is now out of this race. I do believe that Adam Elby is going to be happy with that, though. That's going to give him a shot at Joshua Steinke here on the restart. Lap 56 will be the white flag lap. Chris Roberts in race control, keeping us informed here. He'd like to be out there on the track right now, but these things happen. So we're going to hit lap 35 here on the restart. Make that 36. So still 20 to go here. Peyton calling out that the Knoxville cushion bites another. That is true. Trekking in the Twitch chat, rooting for Dunn. He's got a good shot here. Green flag is out. We are watching Ryan Pace in the 34. Trying to hold off Kevin Hanley and Justin Thomas. Thomas working that middle. The 22 of Nygaard once again trying to find his way forward. Ernie Williams, Dylan Workman still there, boys. They've been all around this race course, but they're still in contention. Let's get there. Craig Dunn. Right in that cockpit a little bit. Listen. Listen to the throttle. That is an eighth to a quarter of throttle right there, ladies and gentlemen. This is how slick this track is. On the gas into the corner. He's really getting through 3 and 4 well. I tell you what. You see him on the inside of LB, but listen right here. Off the gas, 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 off the gas. Now he's in it. God, this is what we're talking about. This is how hard it is to work these features. You're talking about the most talented sprint car drivers there are on this sim, and the track is gone. There's no moisture there. He is off the gas through probably 3/4 of that corner. But then you go down to 3 and 4, and he's got some moisture down there that he's able to work. He's in the gas more. I really like the ability to get you in the cockpit to feel that. I competed in Season 2. Knoxville is one of my better tracks. And just running the bottom to perfection is quite complicated, let me tell you. And you saw it right there riding with Dunn. We are watching Jason Nygaard. He's the only one on the top side of the track making time on the top guys. Dunn trying to go a lane up off of that bottom through 1 and 2 to find some traction to make his move around Adam Elby. Nygaard doing what he can, but we know how dangerous that top side is. He's got around Dunn there on the backstretch, but Dunn's going to charge back here on the bottom. Nygaard, though, good run. Now he's going to challenge for second. Adam Elby trying not to give way. He got a little bit out of sorts there, made contact with Dunn, gives second place to Jason Nygaard in the 22. But if you didn't see, ladies and gentlemen, Joshua Steinke is pulling away. That is quite the gap there from first to second. We are working lap 45. Lap 56 will be the white flag lap. So we are coming down to 10 to go. And Joshua Steinke doing everything he needs to do to take this victory home. Elby, he's going to go to the top side. See if he can make some waves there on the 57 of Dunn. I'm hesitant to look farther back in the field, but running 5th is Justin Thomas, 6th Kevin Hanley. Ernie Williams still trying to pull his way forward. He's in 8th. Workman has fallen back a little bit to 11th. We are watching the race for position here on track. This is 3rd and 4th. Dunn and Elby trying to find whatever line they can to make some time and get themselves farther up in this field. Nygaard is really the only one turning laps that are in competition with the race leader. Last lap for Nygaard, 18.5.27. We'll see what he's got here. Actually, 3/10 quicker than the leader on that last lap. Nygaard is reeling in Joshua Steinke, and as you can see, Steinke's starting to come into lap traffic here. We're going to have to keep an eye on this. We're coming down to the end of this race. Steinke knows he's losing time too, because you see him trying to work a little higher line there through 3 and 4. Lap traffic right in the way. This is where you separate the men from the boys. Looks like the 13 car is going to get out of the way of the race leader. Steinke trying that high side because he can see it working for Nygaard. At the line. Nygaard not quicker that time. So that gap has stabilized. Steinke doing what he needs to do to take a victory here in race number 1. We'll try to get back to this battle here between 3rd and 4th. You also got a battle between Justin Thomas. We got a caution on the track. We're going to reset it. Ah, now we're talking. Now we are talking. We got ourselves a race. I think that 13 car is involved in this. We'll see. Oh, I'm wrong. Sean Wallenfels in the fence. That can't be the caution. There it is. Ernie Williams Jr. once again with a little bit of contact. We'll back this up. Yep. Nowhere to go. The 34 car of Pace. Upside down. 91 of Williams. Making more contact in this race, which is just what he didn't need. But I tell you what I needed. I needed a caution. That's what I needed. Because now we got ourselves a race, ladies and gentlemen. We saw Nygaard was the only guy able to make time on Steinke. Steinke had a big lead. And Nygaard closed it up a little bit before Steinke stabilized it. So, what can he do now? Where do these drivers go? Steinke started moving up the racetrack to make that difference and hold that gap. Looks like Ernie Williams is going to take a end-of-line penalty here, unless he was just out of line there. Race control saying lap 59 will be our white flag lap. And as we take the green here, they will cross the stripe and start lap 55. So we are down to the nitty-gritty, ladies and gentlemen. Handful of laps left in this race. Joshua Steinke, Jason Nygaard, and Craig Dunn, your top three. We're coming down to the end of the race. Green flag is out. Wow, Nygaard got a really good start there. He's going to go to the top, Steinke to the bottom. These guys are going to start pushing as hard as they possibly can. We saw Steinke up to the top side through 3 and 4, and he does not change that line here. Nygaard's right there. Dunn trying to work the bottom. I'm sure all of these guys were working their in-car adjustments under the caution. Pulling that wing back, maybe adjusting some shocks, doing whatever they could do to give themselves an edge here as we went back to green. But the man with the edge right now is Joshua Steinke. Dunn is working the bottom of the race course. He's made his way around Nygaard. Nygaard's starting to fade. Here comes Elby for third. Steinke into the corner. You see Dunn really make that gap up coming in. But he's not getting off the corner well enough to pull even. Upside down, Sean Wallenfels at the back of the track. We are yellow. Here is the reason for that caution. Yep. That cushion biting another driver there. Wallenfels just hitting it a little too hard over the berm and into the fence he goes. That is it for the 42. But his Black Diamond teammate doing quite well out front. Well, here we go. Green, white, checkered for all the marbles. Ladies and gentlemen, we have run 60 laps. 35 green flag laps was the distance. We are going green next time for a green-white checker. We are going to crown a winner right here. Joshua Steinke, Craig Dunn, Adam Elby, Jason Nygaard, Justin Thomas, your top 5 here at Knoxville. Green, white, checkered on tap. Steinke's going to give this race life coming off of turn 4. We'll see if he can get as good as a start as he had last time. Nygaard got a pretty good run on him. Sorry, we're going to go green next time by. But as I was saying, you saw Nygaard got a good run on Steinke there, so Steinke didn't get the start he wanted, or maybe it was just Nygaard getting a really good jump. But Dunn has to emulate that right now. He has no other choice. If you give Steinke a couple car lengths, you're not going to catch him in this short amount of time. So we're going green this time. Off of turn number 4. Green, white checkered for Joshua Steinke, last season's champion, looking to get a win in race number 1. Here we go. Done. Not a great start, but he is right there. Both of those drivers on the bottom of the track, Adam Elby and Nygaard, went to the top. Steinke's making the gap, though. And now Steinke back to the bottom. Let's hope he can get through there pretty well. He was been running the top down through 3 and 4. So far, so good. White flag in the air. Joshua Steinke, one more lap to go, and he's going to take a win in race number 1 of the DOB 360 Sprint Car Series season. Done. Doing everything he can to run that 80 down, but it's the Black Diamond car off of turn number 4. Joshua Steinke, your winner. Craig Dunn, Adam Elby, Justin Thomas, and Jason Nygaard, your top 5 at Knoxville in race number 1. Steinke's going to have a little fun here. Take him a victory lap. We should have the top 3 drivers on the front stretch here in a moment. Should be able to get to talk to them shortly. There you have it. The 80 of Joshua Steinke, 57 of Craig Dunn, and the 74 of Adam Elby. Black Diamond, Team SETI, and Swindell Speed Labs, respectively, the teams represented by these drivers. Gonna see about getting them up here into the broadcast booth, doing a little interview. That was fun. You know, pure racing aspect. You don't always ask for a green, white checkered, but when you get it, it's not too bad. You know, you get that, what is that? It's that NASCAR thing, right? Like, NASCAR, you know, artificial into the races, green, white checkered, there's always a caution. But we don't do that stuff in sprint car racing, so we don't get them very often. We got to enjoy them while we get them. But not a whole lot of passing because that 80 car stunk it up, baby. He led them all. I wonder if some of these guys are in the team speak. We made the switch over to Discord here. Hopefully these guys can hop in the Discord and talk to us. This isn't it, however, ladies and gentlemen. We got another race going. Race number 2 will get started here in just a few moments. Looks like everybody's going to hop out. Not sure if anybody's in the Discord or not. But we'll see if we can catch up with them. A lot of changes here for the DOB. Bringing the broadcasts in-house and switching over to the Discord chat. Now we're getting a couple of these old boys in here now.
Elby should be coming.
Is that Craig Dunn we got in here?
Yeah, mate.
Craig, let's talk about it a little bit, brother. You had a good run out there, second place on the evening. And I got to tell you, you had some fans out there in that Twitch chat. They were pulling for you. Looked like the car was working really well there on the bottom. And in the center of the middle of the race, you seemed to really be running pretty good. Tell us how it was.
Um, yeah, it was tricky, mate. The track really came to me towards the end there, and I really didn't want that last caution. I felt like I had a chance to get the lead there, and yeah, and then that caution came out, and yeah, I just couldn't. I couldn't peg back Josh at the end there. It was too tricky to try and catch up and make a.
Yeah, that 80 car seemed to have the car to beat. You guys actually, we got Adam in here as well. You had a pretty good battle there with that 74 car. Both of you trying to work that bottom line. Was there ever any thought for you to make that move to the top side? We saw that pay off for Nygaard there for a little bit, but it bit plenty of people in this race.
Yeah, I seen Jason go up there, and I knew it was there, and I just didn't think I had the car for it, and Adam was staying down low, and he left me enough room just to get underneath, and he sort of squeezed me a little bit, and I had nowhere to go, and we bumped wheels, and it might have moved him up a bit and let me through, but it was a tough track. I just wanted to stay down low and try and work it from there.
Well, you did a great job, my friend. Congratulations on the second place finish. That's the way to start off the season. Let's talk to Mr. Adam Elby here, Swindell Speed Lab driver. Another good run here. Maybe not exactly what you wanted, but top three in race number one. You can't be too upset, right?
Yeah, definitely. We had a really good car. It was just I Knoxville is one of my worst tracks on the simulator, so I was pretty happy with the third place run. We tried to find moisture wherever it was, and it felt like we were really good on the bottom there, and just I think tried one too many times to find moisture in other spots. Went to the top for a while, tried the middle a little bit. And when I went back down to the bottom, I kind of missed the bottom a little bit, and Craig got his nose in there, and I know he didn't really have much room, and I wasn't really trying to chop him or anything, but just trying to get back down to my line, kind of running like a nice little arc. But we bumped and he got by, and it was just kind of just seeing what we could salvage for the rest of the night.
Well, you mentioned, the track being complicated, and you kind of went looking for moisture in other places too much. Is it really like a rhythm thing when you're on a track like this? You've got to keep hitting your marks to ensure that you don't throw yourself off.
Yeah, definitely. The beginning of that race, was struggling to get by Ryan Pace there, for the third spot because every time I felt like I'd get by him, that a caution would come out, and then he'd see what I was kind of doing, and he would do that, and I tried to have to keep changing it up. So just being able to get up into the top three was hard enough with all the yellows, and we finally got some good runs. And like I said earlier, I tried one too many things that didn't really work, and the Craig and Josh were just kind of checked out and just kind of you know pace around and don't mess up and just kind of hope for a yellow to bunch the field back up. Um, so yeah, I think the rhythm definitely kind of hurt me. I feel like we were pretty strong on the restarts, especially like that last one there. We were able to get fourth, third by Nygaard. So yeah, definitely it was tough to get in a rhythm, but that's why those guys finished in front of me.
Well, there you have it, guys. Good job here tonight in race one, and hope you have some good luck here coming race two.
Thank you.
That's Craig Dunn and Adam Elby, your second and third place finishers, respectively. We